Here's a special episode of ducking around with my gear. This is more for when I teach lessons. I teach a lot of children music privately here at my private studio that I get to use, which is cool. I work for the place. They actually recruit the students. I don't have to collect money. They handle the payment. I just write when they show up and when they don't. But it's been very good to me. I really like it. It's extra money off the side. I grew up working in a restaurant. My parents were restaurant owners, and that's hard work. And before I got this gig, I used to on the weekends work at the Olive Garden. Good food, you know, but you're on your feet a lot. And over here, I make a lot more money while sitting down, which I don't mind. And I get to play music too and get to practice a little bit before and after students. But here's kind of what I use teaching in the studio. A long time ago, I used to play an Epiphone Hummingbird Pro acoustic. It was a beautiful guitar. It sounded good, but my right shoulder started really hurting. I went to the doctor, and the doctor said we can either do a monthly cortisone shot leading up to surgery, or you buy a smaller guitar. So I bought smaller guitars, and over here, it's kind of a double thing. Not only are these smaller for my shoulder, because I teach about 4:30 till 9 p.m. every night. I teach a lot. When you're in that playing position for 5 hours, 5 days a week, that does mess up your shoulder. So there's small guitars, one for my shoulder here, because I spend more time teaching lessons than practicing. But then also, if a student comes in and they don't own an instrument, these are a good variety of ones that'll fit a kid. And so that's kind of cool. This right here is a Gretsch Jim Dandy, and it's the original version with the defective bridge. They didn't put bridge pins in it because they thought, oh, that's one less thing people will have to worry about. Well, people forgot. If you do that, the strings will pull this bridge forward and it will wreck itself. It was developing a huge hump right there. And so I did what many people online do. I put a resonator tailpiece right there. There's a little bit of rock forward, but it's way better than it was. And so it's in a compromised position. For teaching lessons, it's fine. These are a small bodied guitar. They're meant to be kind of reminiscent of the old guitars you used to buy in the Sears catalog. You know, the old Rex guitars or the Harmony guitars. The body, I think, is basswood. I may be wrong. Some are sapele, but this one I think is a basswood one. It feels almost like a cereal box. They got a very, you know, they're not a Martin, and I'm a Martin fan. They got a very on-purpose cheap guitar sound, but sometimes when you're recording, and sometimes when I play music for you here, I'll use this for that kind of rootsy type sound. So it's got a lane it stays in, but it's great for lessons because of its small body. It's very easy on my shoulder. And it's quieter than a lot of my students' guitars. And the big thing is to not outplay my students so I can hear if they're making mistakes or hear if they do something good. So it's perfect for teaching lessons. It is laminate, but I still humidify it because I take care of stuff. Over here, this thing is just fun. This is an Ibanez micro guitar, and I actually really like it. I've got small girlish hands, and I didn't find this out till after I played, but short scale actually fits my hands better than a regular scale. These are all short scale, by the way, which is kind of nice. It's just less strain on your hands. Now up here, it gets a little hairy, even my tiny fingers, it's a little crowded, but what I love is with the short scale, you can do really aggressive bends, and it's really expressive. I did put D'Addario auto-tune locking tuners on it, and I do have 11s on this, so usually I play 9s or 10s. It's got a little bit tougher strings so they stay stable. I put some brass saddles. I put this little Batman logo on it, and I got a D'Addario auto lock strap. But these pickups are GFS Mean 90s. They're humbucker size P90s. And I did it because I've never seen P90s in a pointy Ibanez. And I've never seen it done before, and I thought, let's see what it's like, because I think it would work amazing. And I've shown this to people, they love it. These pickups are very expressive, and then you can bend more expressively on this. I tell you, this thing is like a Telecaster on steroids. It really is. Yeah, it's fun as heck to play it. When I'm teaching lessons for hours, sometimes I'll play that, and it makes me smile. If I'm having a rough day, I'll play this because the pointing makes me feel aggressive, and the pickups are just very expressive. It sounds better than it has any right to be. The only negative is because it's a small body. If you've ever seen the movie Tommy Boy and the fat guy in a little coat, sometimes I feel like that with this little guitar, but I love it. It stays in tune pretty well with the locking tuners and the heavier strings. And I like Adam West Batman. I grew up with this really silly, stupid Batman series no one likes. A little bit of the animated series in the 90s was fun too, but I like the Adam West thing. And, you know, as clergy, you know, I kind of relate to Batman, you know. Sometime when the bat signal's out, you got to do your job, just like being clergy. If someone needs you, you got to drop everything and go do that, you know. That's something I relate to. I did a video about my thumb, my right hand, and kind of my disadvantage there. Batman has no superpowers, but he still does what he does. Batman's had to overcome trauma, so have I. There's a lot of things I like about Batman. And then I like the Adam West Batman, the old school Batman. He's a goody two-shoes, and I'm a little bit of that too. He orders orange juice at the bar. I mean, at the shows. I love Adam West Batman. I'm not a comic book nerd, but Adam West Batman is cool, and I just thought it's blue and black. That was the only color the store had, and I thought, wait, we can make this Batman themed. So I didn't have the Batman theme from the beginning, but it's pretty cool. This is my Ibanez micro bass, and like I said, I love the short scale. You know, if I could start over on bass playing, I would have started with this because I almost prefer the short scale more than my lowrider bass at home. I wish it didn't have the jazz pickup here. Just the P pickup is enough for me. But yeah, we got a zero gravity strap, but it's made by Lakato. Different name brand, but same factory, same product, but half price. We got Ernie Ball strap locks, kind of like the old grill squashers. Amps I use are these Joyo ones from Amazon, Joyo bass amps. They play clean and distorted for lessons when you're in a building with lots of spaces, other people learning. You don't want your amp to be too loud, and they're battery powered, so you can move it. If you want to move your student to a different spot, you don't have to mess with the power cord. So I love it. This is new. This is my Flight Ultra Travel Series ukulele. I like it because I don't have to worry about it. You know, I humidify this. I don't humidify these because they're electric, but I used to own an Enya solid wood mahogany uke that was beautiful, but I had to humidify that. Ukulele for me is like fun. I'm not a serious uke player. I want my uke to be a beater, and I'm okay if it doesn't sound as good. I just don't want to worry about uke. Uke is kind of a toy. Uke is for my students that have really small hands or aren't ready for guitar yet. I'll start them on uke. You know, that's just how I roll on that. And my Enya solid wood mahogany one, even though I humidified it, had a big split down the middle. And I just thought, you know what, I want something just tough for my ukulele. And this is all like the really hard plastic, like the plastic you make from school classroom chairs, and it's amazing. The frets are actually plastic too, which made me nervous, but I looked and they said as long as you use the nylon or fluorocarbon strings, they won't wear out because they're made from classroom chairs. They even painted them so they look like real frets, but at least there's no pokey frets on the side. But I like the rounded back. I like, it kind of looks futuristic. We got Ernie Ball, you know, strap locks too. This stand I got on Amazon, I forgot who made it, what it's called, but it's pretty. But I like it. It doesn't sound as good as a wood uke, but it's okay. For uke, I don't care. And I'm gonna say that, I don't care. Only neg is I wish they made them in concert size. I love concert size, but when I'm working with little kids, we got the Soprano size, so it's okay. And it's got the strap. Concert size is my favorite. I used to own a baritone uke and it was fun, but I play guitar, so I didn't need it. I gave it to someone who didn't know how to play guitar and wanted to learn, and Yeah, and then tenor uke, I used to own a tenor uke. That was the Enya that split. They're really neck heavy with the longer neck. And so, yeah, concert uke is a sweet spot, but for here I have a soprano. So yeah, that's just kind of my thing right there. Those are what I teach lessons on, kind of what I use. And then also, if a student doesn't own an instrument, I can say, try it. And I'm like, go to this store in Grand Island and it's right there, the same model. If you like it, it's right there. So, and sometimes I'll have an acoustic guitar student they're talking to their mom about, for Christmas, they want an electric. And I'm like, play this one during the lesson, no problem. So that's just kind of a nice thing I have. And they were all blue just as a fun thing for the kids. But then when I ordered this from Uke Republic, they were out of blue. And I was like, oh man. So that purple uke messes it up. But that teal has a little more green in it, so my students tell me it still kind of works. They're just the cool colors of the spectrum, you know, with the blue, a darker blue, kind of a greenish blue and a purple. So yeah, it still works, I guess. But yeah, these are just ones I use to teach lessons. I don't gig with them, although I might someday gig with this. And when I played at like church camps, I bring that bass just because it's smaller. And I tell you that the blue on this one is just beautiful. And yeah, the zero gravity strap. I just wish they made this, but with more colors and with one of these on the end with the auto lock. I wish these two could have a baby or something. Or I wish I knew someone really good who could make me one of these, but with that on the end would be just absolutely ideal. But that doesn't exist yet, so ideal, you know, ideal. But yeah, it's a wide strap. It does seriously feel like it takes weight off of the guitar. It's very soft and yielding like a Nerf ball. I love it. So yeah, that's what I use at my second job, my side hustle. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed that. Stay lucky, stay ducky.